but I thought I was going to just be able to do NPR tonight and be fine. But just thinking about how bittersweet it is that how this week is gone. Just thinking that it's a blessing that I'm meeting so many people right now that are doing more than just talking. Sadly, it's not in the communities that I would love for it to be in, but I'm learning a lot from them, and they're showing me a lot of things that I would never, ever be able to get into dealing with the people in my circle. And quite frankly, a lot of people think that I would, but hey, I don't meet them here. And quite frankly, after trying all these years to contact people and try to get something done, I'm not chasing nobody. Because if they're there like that everywhere else, it shouldn't be no different where I am. So I'm going back to my rogue days, where the only way to get things done was just me and me alone. I no longer have that belief that my people are capable of doing things themselves on a level that I believe that we should be able to do. And that's a sad thing. That's a really hard thing for me. Because I gave it the old heave-ho, and it did not work. I don't make this up about how people put high beams in the back of my eyes. It's all good. But yeah, I feel like if I don't do it, my people ain't gonna have it. And that's not a good feeling to have. I feel like if I don't do it, the kids ain't gonna have. And I'm just one person. Should never be like that. This person is riding in my back with high beams. Wow. But yeah. Breaks my heart that I can spend all this time trying to talk to people and I see all these people arguing and always mad at each other. I'm not trying to live like that. I've never been like that. But it's just sad that really is that many of us that just don't get it. We say we get it all day long, but we don't get it. And this dude's high beams is so bright that he's blocking out my image in the camera. If he tries to pass me, I'm gonna let him pass me. But he's not trying to pass me. Anyways, I've been talking to people about raising bees and aquaponics and hunting. And I mean, the characteristics of any of these three things is that in order for you to be successful, you have to act. There's no way you could just talk about this and not be doing it or have some experience doing something like it ever in your life. You won't be able to relate, and they'll look at you like you're crazy. So it's a blessing for me to be able to see that. But at the same time, it's bittersweet, because some reason, our people and believers, we think that we could talk about things and not be about it. And to me, that's nuts. We really think we could talk about things and not be about it. We think we could leave things up to everyone else but ourselves to get it done. But I'm praying that's going to change someday. But right now, I don't believe it's going to change. I believe that we're still going to think politics is the answer. That if we vote for a person based on the color of their skin or for the group they represent, that that's going to change our lives. I believe that we have a stay broke mentality. Even though we say we want more, we're not going to do the things that it's going to take to come above this, because we think about ourselves as an individual and not a hive. Funniest thing about this is, to me, is that I was thinking about us when I was dealing with my dogs the other day. And there's two things that came to my mind. One thing is, when one dog gets in trouble, no other dog wants to deal with the trouble that the other dogs are dealing with. So they cower and they go to the other ones for comfort, or they go to the person that they believe is alpha or above in the room, or second in command in the room, and they seek affection and protection from that person. But depending on who that is, they might not get that which they want. And it's kind of like feeding them back to the dogs, I guess you could say. Or they would probably run away and escape and leave the other ones to deal with the issues if they could. But they were in a corner, so they couldn't. If my mom was the one that was around, she would say, "Ro, leave them alone," and they wouldn't be in trouble. And they'd be like, "Yes, it worked." And they would stick with her to make sure I was gone. But I kind of believe my people have a mentality in which they know there's a problem. It's hurtful. But they really don't know how to come above the issue. They say they know, but they really don't truly understand. And they're not trying to really plug and play in anything to see that it needs to get done. I mean, you got some dudes that come up with a plan that are supposedly PhD this and PhD that. My sister always shares stuff about them. That's my baby, my uncle. I don't necessarily agree. I'm beyond a lot of situations and certain thought processes that people are saying is going to work, and for that concrete stuff. Concretely, if people put $80 a month up 1,000 people, that's $960,000 a year. Concretely, if 4,000 people put $80 together a month, then that's $4.4 million. If 8,000 people do it, then you're looking at, if 10,000 people do it, then you're looking at more like $8.8 million a year to work with in the name of change. If people are truly sincere and truly want change, they're going to put their money where their mouth is and change it. It's too easy to fix this. And saying that you don't have any money when you know how to get money for every single thing else that you want in life is a bunch of bull crap. And honestly, I'm not listening to that no more. As many years as black people have been hustling for some little things, shape and form, that they think they should hustle for, I believe that now, today, at this time, that there should be no reasoning behind why we're not strong enough to hustle for the things that's going to take our people out of the wall, out of the ditch. Not to pocket for your individual self. That's the true mentality of the black man today. If it's not immediate, if it's not fast, if I can't use it now, if it doesn't go in my personal individual pocket, I ain't trying to do it. And you know what? That shows why we gonna burn and we gonna die. I hear crazy people always talking about war. You don't know nothing about war. You don't even know about hunting. You know? I'm in deer hunting groups, and these men are out there in the snow or in the cold rain all night long, and they're waiting. These guys are waiting, and they gotta be quiet, and they gotta be intelligent, and they have to wait and assess, and they have to study things. Guys gotta watch trails and study footprints and check where the wind is, because if the wind is pointing the wrong way, the animal's gonna smell them and run. If they bait them, they gotta know where to bait them and what to bait them with. You know, some of these guys, they now talk about habitat management, so they raise these animals for the hunt now. So these guys are able to look at the animals and assess everything. All that to say, are you understanding and how calculative that you need to be to get true change in this world? I don't think so. I think you know, but you really don't know. And it's very simple, but you don't take time to calm down, relax, and assess. You're very reactive. You're not proactive. No man back in the early 1900s or in the late or mid or early 1800s could survive without either buying food or hunting it. And it's always cheaper to get it for yourself. The lazy man who thinks that he's too good to learn these tactics, who has all the money in the world to play with, he's the one who learns how to spend his money. And he can, because he has enslaved so many people during the daytime, his family has, that he can do that. But the regular man does not have time for that. They don't have the ability to get anything done like that. And therefore, the reality is, he's going to have to learn to think things through. And he's going to have to learn how to figure it out without those things that he thinks that he needs to get it done. You know? In order to send your daughter to school, you had to come up with the money, or they couldn't go. And that was just that. So you had to hustle to make sure your daughter went to school. You know, when they had the school mom, that was somebody's wife volunteering her time and her energy to make sure that your kids got the knowledge. And you had to make sure that she was okay. She had to have food to eat. She couldn't lose her house. She lost her place to sleep. Then where's she gonna go? So you had to meet those needs. You had to show and prove. You had to take care of her. You lost that whole ideology, man. And who's that to blame but yourself? You can't blame me. The ideas, the thought process was given to you. So you should have been able to accomplish something with it. But you think you know. Some of us don't have jobs. Some of us never had jobs, but we think we know. Some of us been in the military, so we think we know about what it means to go to war, when all you did was go through basic training and you may not even seen battlefield. Meantime, a lot of these people been training their kids to do things since they're like 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. Got 7-year-old daughters that can hit bullseyes from hundreds of miles away and stuff like that. They train their kids. If there was a massive terrorist attack, guess what? These guys wouldn't have to go do anything by themselves alone. It's going to be them, their kids, and their wives. They can homestead. Homesteading is when you don't have the electrical equipment and you know what it's going to take to raise those animals, to be able to set up a latrine, a toilet so you can use the bathroom. You're going to have to learn how to stir some dirt, know what plants can be planted with what, that complement each other so you can get a decent harvest before the winter is concerned. These people are survivors. You know? They don't take this stuff a joke. They take this stuff seriously. We're the only ones that's taking this stuff for joke. And the pure evidence of us taking things for a joke is lack of being proactive. You're not proactive. You just want people to think you're proactive. And that's our reality. We're not doing it. We just want people to think we're doing it. So go ahead and complain about everything else in the world. Meanwhile, I'm gonna do me. I got 2 nieces to think of right now. And my 2 nieces are about to be equipped, because someday they're gonna get married, they're gonna have husbands, and whether or not my people change their hearts and become kingdom-minded in the future, or they still stuck on that dumbness, things are still gonna have to be done for my nieces to get by in the United States of America. So I'm going to do what everybody else is doing, and I am going to help them to build skills, because that's the only way for survival in America, is to have skills. Watching Empire is not a skill. Watching Flavor of Love is not a skill. Real Housewives of anything, not a skill. None of that stuff is a skill. I don't watch none of that stuff. I can't stand 30 seconds of any of that crap. And I always find it interesting that who actually watches that bull crap and then complains about what's going on in the world. The truth is, you the problem. You're the reason why these people keep making money. You complain about every single thing and don't realize that you invest in stupidness. But you'll make a comment about the comic books, and you'll make a comment about the science fiction, when if it wasn't for science fiction, you wouldn't have a cell phone. You wouldn't have a car. You wouldn't have circulating air in your house, because it took imagination to build those things. What imagination does it take to put a girl on television and have her booty dancing, or have a man and a woman having sex in a bed for your entertainment, for your viewing pleasure? And then you be watching that crap in front of your kids, you be talking about that crap in front of your kids, and you just destroyed 2 generations, yourself and your progeny. And your parents probably did it too. You know? It's just a history of us not doing what we need to do, and then we blame leadership for why things does not go well, when the ideology of anything is that first step of leading is serving, and part of serving gives you the ability to understand what is important, and our heirs is what's important. Taking care of our elderly is important. Having something to be able to complain about is important. When you don't have anything, you really shouldn't be complaining. You should accept what's going on as the status quo, because you did not build it anyway. When you build it, then you can complain. Black people have not built anything that has not been taken from them yet. I will admit that. But black people have not done anything quietly to build and to keep it stable, to be able to say, we have it, we're standing firm, and nobody can take it away from us. But the Hindus are doing that. The Latinos are doing that. The Jewish people are doing that. The Muslims are doing that. Nation of Islam is doing that. Mormons are doing that. Catholics are doing that. The Sikh are doing that. You don't even really know what a Sikh is. You're going to have to learn to look it up on a dictionary. But guess what? They got their communities. So, really, in all wholehearted honesty, you have nothing to complain about. You have nothing to blame but yourself. You're the only group that shows a lack of capability to do anything to take yourself out of the issues. I mean, out. I don't want to hear some of us do this and some of us do that. That's bullshit. And it's time to stop that mentality. We need to come out of this situation. And the only way to come out of the situation is to build something. When a group of people, when an animal is sick, we let it die. So we can either move forward with those who want to do what it takes to bring change, or and let everything else die, or we can die along with them because we still won't get it after all this time. And I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to end this. All these science fictions about zombie apocalypses and about imperialistic governments taking over, and about space-world colonies, you should understand this by now. One, the first thing you should understand is, united we stand, divided we fall. That's true. But number two is, if you don't have concepts about necessity and sacrifice and order, then you'll get absolutely nowhere. You're gonna die, you're gonna lose, because you're not equipped. I'm done.